Alright guys, I don't really know where I'm going to put this clip at, but I just had to show you this. I just got an epic lot. Hold on. You see back there's a box. And there's more boxes. I paid $100 for this. We've got Dreamcast in the box, Sega CD in the box, Sega Dreamcast in the box. There's Dreamcast games, Saturn games. Sega Saturn in the box, Dreamcast, Sega CD, Saturn games, Dreamcast games, N64, Super Nintendo, 32X, Wii. There's everything in here. So, yeah, it was pretty epic. There's other games inside of here. I didn't even check what they are. But, yeah, pretty excited. Get everything in here. You know, whatever, put this at the yard sale or the storage or the swap meet. I'll show you guys what I got from it. I mean, I might even do a video by itself because there's so much stuff. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. What's up, everybody? So this is pretty much the first clip you guys saw of the stuff in my car, and then the pickups part. I wanted to make this its own video because there was so much stuff. Now, the story behind this pickup is last Tuesday, I went to the Van Buren swap meet, and I go there occasionally on Tuesdays. A lot of times I don't film. I don't really find a lot of stuff, you know. It's sort of just kind of like a me day kind of thing, you know. Whatever. Sometimes I do film, and a lot of times I don't. Just mainly because I don't find a lot of stuff. I'll get, you know, a couple things here and there. This Tuesday was pretty decent. I found a few things. Now, I had something in a bag. It was a Dreamcast in the box. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's up there. I had that in the box, and this guy stops me, and he was like, "Hey, where'd you get that? You know, how much did you pay?" And you know, we got to talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a whole bunch of that stuff, you know, sitting at home." I was like, "Oh, you guys didn't end up bringing it?" And he's like, "No, you know, we're not sure like how we want to sell it. You know, we just want to sell it all or sell it piece by piece." So we exchanged phone numbers, and you know, I told him, "Hey, you know, I'll give you a call, and you know, we can set something up, and we'll just, you know, go from there." So I called him the next day, and I came by, and I was thinking I was just gonna walk into just a bunch of Dreamcast stuff, and when I walked up, I was amazed at what I saw. So first, let's start with the boxed systems. This one was in the box. The first one I saw when I walked up there was the Dreamcast. Now this is complete. It's got the insert, it's got 2 controllers, all the cables. It works phenomenally. It's, I mean, super great condition. So there's the Dreamcast. Then I was, you know, looking through the boxes, and then I noticed this one, Sega Saturn Model 2. This one is also complete. The box is, you know, in fair shape. Works perfectly. So another boxed system to add to the collection. And then underneath the boxes of games was this. Now this is the Sega CD Model 2. Now this is just the box. Unfortunately, on the inside there was it's got the insert, no paperwork, and it had a really super clean high definition graphics Sega Genesis Model 1. So there was that, and then inside of this box was a couple games. We've got Road Blasters, cart only, and then Sonic 2, Sonic 1, and Spider-Man. So there were those games in there. Oh, and there was a giant Black Widow in here too, so that was a nice surprise. So I mean, it sucks that I didn't get the Sega CD. The Sega CD wasn't even anywhere in here. But still, you know, I have the box, so finding a Sega CD Model 2 is going to be pretty simple. Okay, now that wasn't it. Those were just the boxed systems. Next, we have just ton of other systems. All the cables necessary. So we've got a Wii, and that came with 2 controllers and 2 nunchucks. And it came with all the cables, everything necessary needed. And the Wii is in pretty good condition, and it works. We have a pretty clean N64 with no expansion pack. Just the regular N64. I think it came with both the cables and 3 controllers. We got these 2. This harder to find green one, and then a blue one. The green one also had a memory card inside of it, so that was a cool add-on. And then this Uniracer 64 controller, which I didn't have one of these, so I think I'm going to be keeping that. Then Super Nintendo. Pretty clean, actually. Not yellow or nothing. The little plastic part in the back isn't broken. That was complete, and it came with 2 controllers. And then 2 Sega Genesis Model 2s. Both work. Both are in pretty decent condition, too. And those came with... I think we just got 1 power cord for those. But yeah, that's all the systems. So there was a lot of systems. Okay, let's move on. Got a lot of boxes in front of me. Now there was this weird thing in there. It was a Pioneer 3D series color something handheld video game thing. I don't know. It's still in the package, but it's really yellowed. The screen all yellowed out. So that's a whatever right there. Okay, let's get to some of the games. Alright, so there was 4 total N64 games. First we have Hey You Pikachu and Super Mario 64. And then I had Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing, but I gave those to a buddy of mine. Well, I hooked up a friend that he wanted an N64 with some games, so I hooked him up with that. But that was the only 2 things that I let go out of all this bundle. And then for the Super Nintendo, we have Super Mario World, Star Fox, and Pitfall. I guess we'll show the Sega Genesis. Now there's some pretty fantastic games in here. So you saw those other Genesis games. And we've got a Loose Cart, Booger Man, and Flashback. And then we've got in the box is kind of smashed, but Jungle Strike. We've got it's smashed, but it's sealed. 6-pack, and you guys can see the seal there. It's even got the tag from Toys R Us for 1997 on there. So that's pretty sweet. And we've got Toe Jam and Earl. This one is missing the manual. And then, by far, the best Genesis game, Castlevania Bloodlines. And this is really cool, because I have Castlevania Bloodlines in the box, but mine was missing the manual. And right here in the front is the manual. So now I have complete in-box Castlevania Bloodlines. Okay, next... oh wait, hold on. There's a couple more Genesis games here. Also, we've got Monopoly and Thunder Fox, I believe. No, that one's missing the manual as well. Okay, now we got some 32X games, and these are all relatively pricey. The last 2 are the most expensive. We've got Afterburner. This one's the first 3 are missing the manual. Metalhead. Tempo. Boxing, that one is the most crushed. And this one is by far the most valuable. And this one's complete, which is really cool. Knuckles Chaotix. So really sweet to find some 32X games complete in the box. I think pretty much every single 32X game I have, besides 2 of them that are up there, I have complete. So, alright. We're getting into some of the better stuff. Okay, I'll show these junky games first. For the Wii, we had Just Dance 2, and for PlayStation 2, we had Britney's Dance Beat. Those are throwaways. I don't care about that crap. Okay, then we have some Dreamcast games. First, let's see here. We've got Web Browser 2.0. I'm pretty sure I have this one. I might even have this one sealed, so I'm not sure. Ready to Rumble Boxing, Sonic Adventure, and the best one of the Dreamcast games, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I'll show those last. Alright, we got some Sega Saturn games. This is pretty sweet. The amount of Sega Saturn and then Sega CD games, really cool, because I didn't have any of these games. All of these games are going in the collection. Super stoked. I'm definitely bulking up my my Saturn and CD collection. So here's some samplers. We've got the Sega Saturn bootleg sampler, playable bits and video clips. We actually have 2 of these, so they're probably, yeah, they're probably 2 different ones. I don't know what's on them, but we got those. And then the Nights into Dreams sampler. And then the Saturn games are here. Now the Saturn games weren't as great as the Sega CD games, but still some good stuff. I mean, I didn't have any of it, so I'm going to keep it all. We've got NBA Live 98. Sega Sports NHL All-Star Hockey. I love finding anything Sega Saturn and Sega CD. We've got Revolution X. WrestleMania the arcade game. Myst. And probably the best of the Sega Saturns, Pandemonium. So pretty cool. When I first walked up too, I immediately started looking through the Sega CD and the Saturn games, hoping I'd find something like Dragon Force or something crazy like that. Panzer Dragoon Saga or something. But there is one Sega CD game in here that is pretty valuable, so super stoked on that. Alright, so the Sega CD games. First, we've got 2 disc only. We've got The Adventures of Willie Beamish and Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. So pretty cool in those ones. Alright. Okay, so I just was amazed on how many Sega CD games there was. Alright. And all these are complete, except most of them are missing the little the little foam part that goes in there. We've got NBA Jam. Prize Fighter. Lodestar. I mean, most of these are in really good condition too. Like, there's not that many ones that have cracked fronts or nothing like that. You find that a lot with these big jewel cases. But I mean, like I said, other than the phone, these are all complete. We've got a double deal: Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Bram Stoker's Dracula. At Bram Stoker's Dracula, I found that so far on the Genesis, on the NES, and now on the Sega CD. So I've been finding that one a lot lately. We've got Dracula Unleashed. It's one of the ones that's got a crack in the front. This one looks pretty cool. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Definitely a obscure, weird type of game. I mean, I never even heard of this one, so it looks pretty fun actually. Um, Definitely excited to pop that one in and give it a playthrough. Demolition Man. Sylphied. Mortal Kombat. That one's a cool one to find on the Sega CD. Iron Helix. Definitely probably a lot more filler, but you know, definitely some more obscure stuff that like I said, I've never found this stuff before, so it's hard to find Sega CD and Sega Saturn stuff. Stellar Fire. This one's pretty cool. I almost bought this one on this one's actually fully complete. This one's probably the nicest condition one. I almost bought this on eBay because it was really cheap. It just, I don't know, it looked fun. Wild Woody. So that was a cool find right there. Jurassic Park. And then these two are by far the best ones of the lot. I wish I could find this one on the Super Nintendo because that one is just crazy expensive right now. But this one is still kind of up there. The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Cool find on the Sega CD. And this one, when I looked it up, I was surprised. This is right around $100. You know, for Sega CD game. I was surprised that this one was in there with all the other games. I posted a picture on my Instagram, and right away one of my buddies who collects Sega Saturn, Sega CD, mostly Sega stuff, he wanted this one right away, but this one's definitely going in my collection. Robo Elise. So that one, I mean, it just looks like an awesome game. I love any of these type of shooter games. They're just amazing. So, and this one just, I mean, the cover on it is just amazing. And just pretty sweet to add this to the collection. This one, I only have a couple Sega CD games, but this one, and then I have Lunar on the Sega CD. Those are by far my most valuable Sega CD games. So I definitely love finding Sega CD. I wish I could find a lot more of it, but it's, you know, pretty tough out there. Okay, so that was it for the big lot. Just super amazing lot. You know, I'm just glad that I was able to get it. And for everything, and there's a lot of stuff here, I paid $100. Just an amazing deal. And it's cool because the guy told me, you know, anytime he finds something else, he'll give me a call. So that's good to just make that connection. And then I have a little quickie find here. This was a sale that I did like late Sunday. Late Sunday. I kind of forgot about it. So, but I mean, it's still some cool stuff though. Let's see. Okay, when I got there, I guess, because I hit her up on Craigslist, and I get out there thinking it was just, you know, going to be a random pickup, and she had a yard sale, and she said she had a lot more stuff. All the NES, all the Super Nintendo, all the N64 stuff went first. But I mean, there's still some good, like this stuff was really good, so I'm surprised that this stuff stayed here. She said a couple of them she brought out after, but still though. So the first game for the 3DO, and she did a bundle. If I got 10 games, it was $30 because she started out $5 each, and the more you got, the less it was. So $30 for 10 games. So the 10 games I got for the 3DO, I got Crash and Burn. I've never even found a 3DO like system or games or anything. I mean, I think once I found a 3DO, but they're asking quite a bit. So, I mean, I'll eventually get one, but it's cool to find a game in the wild. For the PS1, and this one's kind of a valuable game. It's like around $30. Warcraft 2: The Dark Saga. It's another, you know, a surprise this game was still there. Like, I guess a lot of people don't know. It's kind of valuable. One GameCube game, only because I didn't have it in my collection. Space Raiders. And you can tell a lot of these games were adult owned because there's like no scratches or anything on them. And then this was the whole reason that I went out all the way out there. I had to drive all the way to Pomona. It took me like 30-40 minutes to get out there, and in traffic. But the Sega games were the reason I went out there. So first, this one wasn't in the picture. She said she found this one later, and that's why it was still there. Gargoyles. So that was a pretty sweet find. And then these ones are all complete in box. Let me see. Yeah, just one of them is missing the manual. So we've got Jurassic Park. And again, you know, I love finding Genesis games complete in the box. Hard Drive-In. These ones are a little harder to find, you know, because it's cardboard. You know, cardboard stuff always gets thrown away first. So, nice find on that one. But, like, you know, finding these games in the box should be pretty easy because they're hard plastic. You would think, you know, people would keep them a lot. That's why you see Genesis boxed games more than, like, NES or Super Nintendo. We've got Last Battle. Battletech, a game of armored combat. That one looks pretty cool. I like these Mech Warrior games. And then these are the best two. This first one's missing the manual, but it's kind of up there. Gain Ground. And then this one, and this was sitting out. You know, nobody grabbed this, and I don't understand why. Because I mean, this one is kind of valuable, and especially when you find it complete in the box. Now I already had the game card only, but my game didn't look this nice, so now I have it complete in the box. Ghouls and Ghosts. I mean, this was the whole reason that I went out there, was to get just this game, because when I found it the first time at a yard sale, it was just card only, and I really wanted to get it in the box. So when I saw it, I was like, man, that's the whole reason. So it was just, you know, cool that I was able to find 9 other games that I wanted to get. But yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts. I love the artwork on there. A lot of, you know, Genesis games, really cool artwork on the front. So that's another thing that I love about Genesis games. But super stoked to add that complete in box to the collection. But yeah, that is everything I got for this mega haul. I love finding big giant bundles like this. I mean, the bigger the better, because you can get everything for a better deal. I mean, at $100. I mean, all the systems, all the games, it's phenomenal. I mean, just this one Sega CD game pretty much paid for the whole lot. So everything else is free. You know, I'll probably end up trading or selling off a lot of the systems that I already have. Keep all the boxed ones, all the Sega CD and Saturn games. I think only one of the I might have all of these Dreamcast games. Maybe one of them. But other than that, you know, it's definitely bulking my Sega CD and Saturn collection, so I'm super stoked on that. But yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm glad to share this stuff with you guys. You know, it's the only reason I do this stuff. I like sharing my finds and just pretty much doing it, you know, just because I love doing this stuff. So I'm glad to share it with somebody. And I've met a lot of fellow collectors, you know, since I've had my YouTube, you know, that are pretty cool, you know, pretty cool dudes. And definitely that's one of the perks about having this channel, is you get to meet a lot of people you probably wouldn't have, you know, that just share the same passion as you. So definitely super sweet. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.